Welcome to Lion Tales, a podcast by Great Grace International School, where we dive into the lives of our students, staff, and alumni to hear about their experiences in their Christian faith within our halls and in the wild. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Lion Tales. I'm with Jonathan Lingenhoel, and he's my favorite son-in-law, by the way. And we're going to talk, this is a special edition. Matter of fact, I just did an edition with Juan Antonio Boyd. He was here visiting from Panama, and now we're doing another. Why we do these is because it's our 35th anniversary, and we want to talk to our current students, our staff, and what we also say is people in our staff that's in the wild. So Antonio was in the wild. You are not in the wild. You're on the front lines of our school. So as I mentioned before, we are talking about our 35th anniversary, reaching out to alumni. Jonathan is not our alumni. He married one of our alumni. He is from the other Christian school, ICSB. This is where he went to high school. And now he has blessed us. It's very interesting that he's here, and we are happy to have you here with us.
Thank you. It's so good to be here with you.
And my grandchildren are here too. So we're going to get into why the school is here and what his job is. This year we renewed a program with our chaplain. We didn't have a chaplain. We are a Christian school. It doesn't mean that all of our students are Christian. Most of our students are not Christian, but our staff is Christian. And we teach from a Christian world view. Everything we do, from cleaning, from teaching, from going to play soccer like we did the other night, everything is through the lens of a Christian worldview, not a secular worldview. So as chaplain, I wanted to ask you a few questions. Tell us about your life and what brought you here to GGIS. And if you want, tell us your testimony.
Well, thank you again for having me. And as you already mentioned, I actually went to ICSB for my high school years. So that was from 8th to 12th grade. And before that, I went to Hungarian public school. My parents were missionaries here for the entirety of my life. And so Hungary is a country that I've grown up in, that I've grown to love, that I've called home. And you spent quite a few years of your life, and your daughter as well, who had the joy of marrying. And so my love for Hungary is really what brought me back here. And as my wife and family and I were praying for God to give us an opportunity to do ministry in Hungary, the school let us know that they were in need of teachers. And we said, well, what better opportunity to invest in the lives of people than through being a teacher? Spending time. I think time is is the most valuable resource that we have. It's something that you can't get back, right? You can't gain time. In truth, it's always only spent. And so where you choose to spend your time, who you choose to spend your time with really matters. And time spent is the best way to show someone that you care about them, that you love them, that they're worth your time, right? And so when I was in the States, I was working as a youth pastor, and I would only get to spend on average in a week 3, maybe 4 hours with my students. And so the fact that here as a teacher, I get to spend often more time awake than their own parents get to spend with them is incredible. And I love the way that I get to invest in and build relationships that we as teachers get to intentionally pour into these kids. And so if you say what brought me here, I would say my love for this country and my love for students and the chance that this gives me to invest and build into them.
It's interesting you mentioned time, because we always talk about GGIS as the time, not just the place. And that's from the students. We didn't invent that. The students told us that, and I just heard it this morning. What is your role here at GGIS? I already mentioned that a little bit. And what is being the chaplain all about at GGIS?
As you already asked, one of my roles, one of the hats I wear is being a chaplain. I'm also a teacher, so I get to teach economics, Last year I taught math and PE. I teach some social studies, Bible, of course, and what else do I get to teach? Hungarian history and culture. Hungarian history and culture, that's right. Having grown up in the Hungarian public school system, I even as an American, I do have an advantage in understanding a lot of the history, and I love getting to share my love for people and history and culture with these students.
We had a group from Taiwan visit us about a month ago, 14, 15 students that just happened to be visiting Hungary, and they wanted a lesson in Hungarian culture. And so a non-Hungarian gave it, and it was awesome. It was 30 minutes of just, they got it.
Yeah,
They got
so
a 3-credit course in 40 minutes.
It's one thing in the States, we don't have quite as long or as rich of a history.
No.
And so to be able to share that with people, it's a joy. But you asked as a chaplain, like, what is my role? What do I do? And so as the chaplain in
Because this is
particular,
new. This is kind of new, renewed.
Yeah, you're right. When I came here the first year, we didn't have a chaplain, and it's something that we decided as a school, this is something that's worth our investment, it's worth our resources, and the students' spiritual lives are worth the attention given by someone dedicated to focus on that.
So you built from nothing, like you started from nothing, because Pastor Graham, most of you know, he left 5 years ago. He's got a church in southern England, United Kingdom now. And so you picked up where he left off, or you started a whole new program, because it's probably quite a different school in many aspects from 5 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has changed. Much of it I don't even know, since I've only been here for a little over a year. But I wouldn't say from nothing, because the way that the school was founded and the heart of the teachers that are here are already spiritually minded, are already interested and motivated by this chance to invest in the spiritual lives of our students. So I wouldn't say from nothing. We were still having regular chapels, we were still sharing the Bible and sharing the Christian worldview and perspective with our students.
So what's your focus?
So my focus is on how to clearly and effectively present the gospel to these kids. That's been my focus, at least for this year, as I've started off my role as a chaplain. So we had our fall retreat at the beginning of the year, and through 4 sessions we broke down the gospel and what's the heart of it, God's redemptive story, God's desire to pull us back into relationship with Him, His call towards repentance and towards acceptance of the free gift that He offers each of us.
And what else? Tell me, I know you do GGYG.
Yeah. So again, that's something that was already running and functioning, and actually Edward Hassanov runs that, and my wife and I get to be a part of that. And what's cool about it is this is something that the students voluntarily come to. And so after school every Friday, for about 2 hours, students come and we'll play some games and we'll dig into Scripture. And we spend quite a significant amount of time opening up the Bible and talking about, we're going through the Gospel of John, so talking about the life of Jesus and how He presents the good news through Himself, how He fulfills the Old Testament prophecies about Himself, and how He points us towards the need for a relationship with God.
Okay, so that begs the question, are we intentional, right? That's a good Christian word, right? How are we intentional about presenting the gospel, presenting a biblical worldview here at GGIS?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because spirituality, it can be something you happen upon, but that's not effective teaching, right? That's not being effective in the opportunity God's given us to invest in these kids. And so intentionality matters. And that's really what I was hoping to bring to the table with a chaplaincy program, is how can we be more intentional in organizing what we're doing, whether it's Bible classes or chapels or other opportunities, as we're pointing these kids towards Christ and showing them what it looks like to live and walk in the Christian faith and the Christian worldview. So one of the ways is through chapels that we do on a weekly basis. And in chapels lately, we've been walking through Old Testament Bible characters and looking at how they point us to Jesus. So the series title is True and Better, and how Jesus is the true and better Abraham. How Jesus is the true and better Moses, who led his people through the wilderness, who offered them salvation, who leads us to the promised land. How Jesus is the true and better Daniel, or how Jesus is the true and better
Joseph.
Even Joseph for Adam and Eve, right? True and better Adam, in the sense that Adam brings death through one man, Jesus brings life through one man. And so through all these concepts, we're trying to teach these kids the fact that the Bible is not only true and reliable, but it tells one overarching story. And every part of the Bible that God inspired, that God put there with intention, points us to Jesus and his redemptive plan for all of humanity.
We have, and have always had, at our school, 10, 20, 30, we're up to right now 26 different nationalities are in the school, and 10 religions. So you don't have to be a Christian to come here. I'll give you a short, real quick one. We had a Muslim family move here from Egypt, and the father came in and they interviewed and tested to get into the school. And he says, but I don't want my son to go to Bible class. Because back then, this is GGCA days, it was the first class of the day. Now it's the second class of the day. And he says, my ambassador says I don't have to send my son. I said, well, you can tell your ambassador that that's very nice, but our first class of the day is Bible, and we're a Christian school, and we don't expect any problems but with this education, and just give it a try. Just give it a try. And so 2 months later, he came back to me and apologized, because he said, I'm sorry that I gave you a hard time, because you have the same Moses, the same Noah, the same Joseph, the same Mary. It's like we may have different views of that, but he didn't see any problem with it. So we are welcoming. You know, it's difficult for me nowadays because inclusivity has been, that word has been misused and abused, I think. But we are inclusive in that everybody is welcome here, but we're a Christian school. So how do you pour your heart out to these kids? What do you see? We talk about our outcomes. What is the outcome that we want to see for our Bible program?
So outcome that we want to see is that every single one of our students ends up walking away with a genuine and personal relationship with Jesus Christ. And we recognize, we believe that is not something that we can force. That's not something that we can make happen, but we can simply share the love of Jesus with them and pray for them on a daily, weekly, monthly, annual basis, and pray that their eyes are open, that their hearts are changed, that they're given hearts of flesh instead of hearts of stone. So that would be our ultimate desire. And we recognize not every one of the students who walk through our doors will. So what we really want for them is to have a deep understanding of what the gospel of Jesus Christ is, of what it means to be a Christian, of what it means to be a believer. And that way, as they walk out, these seeds that we've been planting for years have the opportunity to be watered and to grow as God continues to work on their hearts.
We ask as teachers, it's kind of become a trick question every year, is we ask our staff, what do you teach? And the new staff will always say, I teach 4th grade, I teach physics. The old staff knows that we teach students. That's what we do. We're teaching them for life, and we believe the biblical worldview is something that they should consider. You've been installed since September. Mm-hmm. So what impact do you think that you've had? I've seen it in the hallways, so he doesn't know I was going to ask this question. I've seen it in the hallways that from the retreat, which came out the first week, I think the first week of school, it was early this year, I just see just a more of a family atmosphere here, a more of congeniality here. I've been in the classrooms, and there seems to be a little more awareness, if you will, but I don't know if we'll give you all the credit for that.
I don't think I can be the only one to have the credit for that. Each of our teachers here are believers and are here. I mean, if they were pursuing a paycheck, they wouldn't be here, right? We're here on mission. The goal is to invest and to teach these students. And again, we'd be doing a disservice if we let them walk away simply with morality, discipline, and respect. Yeah. What we want to get to the heart of the why. Like, why morality? Why discipline? Why respect? Why do these things matter? and what's the ultimate purpose behind them. And we recognize that the ultimate purpose of mankind is to glorify God. That's what we were created for. It's what we're meant to pursue as human beings. And so we want our kids, our students, to walk away with an understanding that you were made for more than to receive a good paycheck. You were made for more than to have a wife or husband and a family and die of old age in your bed. Like, there is more to life. And if they don't understand that, if they don't walk away at least having heard that, then we failed them. So that's our hope, is that these students walk away understanding the significance of the now in light of eternity. So you mentioned and been talking about our inclusivity in the sense that anybody is welcome. And I wanted to mention just the why behind that. And I think that's something unique to the Christian worldview and Christian perspective. We believe that these students have a place here, not because of what they earn, not because they walk away high achievers, but because of the fact that they're made in the image of God, that they have intrinsic value. And because they're made in the image of God, they're worth our investment. They're worth the additional effort and prayer and energy that goes into each one of them, the relationship that we seek to build and the way that we try to develop them. And so that's something, as a chaplain as well, that our students hopefully are aware of, is that we want to be there not just as teachers, but also as counselors. If they're in need of encouragement, if they're in need of camaraderie, if they're in need of direction, we want to be there for them and support them as they continue to grow.
Yeah, our kids are what we call third culture kids, and they don't have always the family structure, grandma, auntie, whoever. They have their parents who are maybe working and trying to just figure out living in Budapest, and the school becomes their oasis. And yeah, we look at them, it's in Latin, you know how to use Latin. Imago Dei is the image of God, that these kids are the image of God. They're image bearers. So they're important. I'm important. You're important. You're important.
Yeah, so the world says we're important or we're valuable because of what we produce. But here we believe, we understand that they have value because they are made in the image of God.
They are made in the image of God. We're trying to teach them critical thinking. We say that we're teaching them how to think, not what to think. That's a lot of places say they do that. I think with the increased activity with AI, that many things are changing, and we're trying to make students that are ready to deal with what's coming. We don't know what's coming. Did anybody expect COVID? No. So how could you plan for it or budget for it? You couldn't. So we don't know what's coming. We don't know the ramifications of global AI. But we do know that if we bring kids, make them aware and make them agile, and they know they have, as Balas mentioned, they have an anchor. And that's what I hope the school is. I think it is. It's an anchor to our alumni. I wanted to bring this up. I'll be leaving in a couple of days to go to Asia. I'll be going to Malaysia and Thailand and Seoul. My precious wife, Joni's already there. I'm going to catch up with her, and we are having meetups. We have 4 or 5 meetups in Seoul. We have 1 meetup in Bangkok. We're hoping to have one in Malaysia, because so many of our students over the years have been Asian, and they're not always able to come back here for what we hope will be what we call a homecoming, or the 35th anniversary, which would be May 30th, so graduation weekend. So look on the website and sign up for the newsletter. Remember, once a lion, always a lion. If you were here for just 3 months, you're alumni to us, and we hope to hear from you. We've set up a whole mentoring program. We've got, I think, 6, maybe more, students that are being mentored by alumni, pilots and doctors and humanitarians. So we're looking forward to the second half of this year, when we really hope to gather everybody together. So thank you. Thank you for taking time today. Thank you for marrying my daughter. Thank you for giving me 3 grandchildren. And we'll see you guys next week.
I'm hoping for 6.
So how we're going to start
Yeah,
Six
we got
is
this.
fast.
We got this.
Mr. C, this is your camera.
There's follow-up questions.
Don't feel.
So do you have anything, final thoughts? Because they're telling us that we have to cut soon. Cut. Super.